जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी जय गोपी जन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय 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 प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद भागवतम की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायण नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं किं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये येषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भागवते भगवती नष्टि कृष्ण सदा भगवते धर्मज्ञान दिविसा कलौन सदिसा मेष पुराण पूर्णो दिविसा. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 9, text number 2. रूपं यदेतदवबोधरसूरेण स्वस्यो निवृत्ततमसा सदनुग्रहाय आदौ गृहीतमवतारसतैकबीजम् नाभिपद्मभवनादमहमाभिलाषम् एते रूपम एदेत दवबोधरसोदयेन स्वस्वनिवृत्ततमसा सदनुग्रहाय गृहीतमवतारसतैकबीजम् यन्नाभिपद्मभवनादहमाभिरासम् त्वं यदेतदवबोधरसोदयेन निवृत्ततमसा सदनुग्रहाय आदौ गृहीतमवतारसतैकबीजम् पद्मभवनादहमाभिरासम् श्लोक नंबर 2 है। रूपम एदेतदवबोधरसोदयेन स्वस्वनिवृत्ततमसा सदनुग्रहाय आदौ गृहीतमवतारसतैकबीजम् यन्नाभिपद्मभवनादहमाभिरासम् रूपम एदेतदवबोधरसोदयेन स्वनित्यतमसा सदनुग्रहाय आदौ गृहीतमवतारसतैकबीजम् यन्नाभिपद्मभवनादहमाभिरासम् रूपं यदेतदवधूतधरयोषधेन तस्वनिवृत्ततमसा सदनुग्रहाय तमवतारसतैकबीजम् यन्नाभिपद्मभवनादहमाभिरासम् word by word translation and purport by His Divine Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Form yat which etat that bodha rasa of your internal potency udayena with the manifestation shashvat forever nivritta freed from tamasa material contamination sat anugrahaya for the sake of the devotees Ado, original in the creative energy of matter. Grihitam, accepted. Avatara, of incarnations. Tataeka Bijam, the root cause of hundreds. Yat, that which. Navi Padma, the navel lotus flower. Bhavanat, from the home. Aham, myself. Abhirasam, generated. The form which I see is eternally freed from material contamination and has advantage to show mercy to the devotees as a manifestation of internal potency. It is the origin of many other incarnations, and I am born from the lotus flower grown from your navel home. Repeat. The form which I see is eternally freed from material contamination and has advantage to show mercy to the devotees as a manifestation of internal potency. This incarnation is the origin of many other incarnations, and I am born from the lotus flower grown from your navel home. Support. The three deities Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara Shiva, the executive heads of the three modes of material nature, passion, goodness, and ignorance, are all generated from Garbhodakasai Vishnu, who is described herein by Brahma. From incarnations expand at different ages in the duration of the cosmic manifestation. They are expanded only for the transcendental happiness of the pure devotees. The incarnation of Vishnu in times are never to be compared to the conditioned souls. They are not to be compared to the deities Brahma and Shiva, nor are they on the same level. Anyone who compares them is called a pasandi or infidel. Tamasa mentioned herein is the material nature, and the spiritual nature has a completely separate existence from tama. Therefore, spiritual nature is called avabodha rasa or avarodha rasa. Avarodha means that which completely nullifies. There is no chance of material contact by any means. Brahma is the first living being, and therefore he mentions his birth from the lotus flower generated from the abdomen of Garbhodakasai Vishnu. Umagyanatimirandasya Gyanajanasalataya Tasviranimitamena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. So, Brahma is praying in these verses to Supreme Lord Garbhodakasai Vishnu. After going through many thousands of years, through many penances and austerities, investigations and everything, eventually when he started to meditate on the Lord, he focused on the Supreme and concentrated his mind and intelligence to focus on the Supreme Lord. Then eventually the Lord himself revealed in his heart. He saw a four-handed beautiful Lord flying over the Garbhodaka ocean, and then from his navel sprout a lotus that is a great gigantic lotus which is a universal form, and then in that lotus Brahma was situated on top. So after seeing this and seeing the beautiful vision of the Lord which we already read many beautiful verses, how he, he supersede the beauty of the most beautiful mountain filled with corals and many other valuable jewels and ornaments. So after seeing this beautiful form of the Lord, Brahma become inclined to pray to the Lord, so he finally started to pray. So these are prayers of Lord Brahma for the creative energy. So after seeing the Lord, he also saw a material creative energy. So this creative energy is also a part of Lord Vishnu, but material. So finally, he is praying in terms of creative energy. So in this verse, he glorifies the Lord by saying, "The form which I see is eternally free from material contamination." Material contamination cannot touch the Supreme Lord. Free from material contamination, whereas we are fully involved in material contamination. Rajogun and Tamogun, material mode of passion and ignorance, we are always associated with material contamination. Lord is never contaminated by material modes. To show mercy on the devotees as a manifestation of eternal potency. The Lord incarnates to show mercy to the devotees. Otherwise, so many forms. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirvavati bharata abhyuthanam tadatmanam sejamyam paritranaya sadhunam vinasaya duskritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Wherever and whenever there is a decline in religious practice and a predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself and to deliver the pious, to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish the religious principles, I myself appear millennium after millennium. This is how Lord explains in Bhagavad Gita. So, the Lord comes to protect the devotees and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish the religious principles. When the religious principles goes down, then it has to come to the same level. So, without Lord, nobody can bring it to the full level. Devotees also try to bring it to the certain level, but unless the Lord Himself comes, the full-fledged establishment does not happen. So that's why Lord Himself comes and re-establishes the religious principles. So we see many incarnations like Matsya, Kurma, Baraha, Nrsimha, Vaman, and then Rama, Krishna, Buddha, and Kalki. These various incarnations, 10 incarnations emanated from the Garbhodak Sai Vishnu. So these incarnations come to establish the religious principles and also to annihilate the miscreants. Just like Lord Parasuram came to annihilate the many Kshatriyas for 21 times. He went around the earth planet and annihilated the Kshatriyas. Lord Ramachandra also annihilated the many demons in Sri Lanka. So this way, and when Lord Krishna came, he annihilated many demons. But at the same time, the Lord established the religious principles. Even Lord Buddha, when he came, he destroyed the many ignorant Shunyavad devotees and brought it to the knowledge of the God. So this is how Lord establishes the religious principles and he comes to give pleasure to the devotees. So these verses tell how he comes to give material happiness to the devotees, to show mercy to the devotees as a manifestation of eternal potency. This incarnation is the origin of many other incarnations. Garbhodakasai Vishnu is the origin of many of these Vishnu Tattva incarnations. From Tirudakasai Vishnu comes the Garbhodakasai Vishnu, and from Garbhodakasai Vishnu expands many, many thousands of incarnations. And I am born from the lotus flower grown from your navel womb. So from the Garbhodakasai Vishnu, a lotus is sprouted, and on that lotus, Brahma is born. So here in the purport, how incarnation expands in different ages and during the cosmic manifestations, they expand for the transcendental happiness of the pure devotees. Lord expands himself into many, many incarnations to give happiness to devotees. Devotees feel happy when they see the beautiful incarnation of the Lord. When Lord Krishna was in the planet, what was his main activity? His main activity was to please devotees. He was always he the demons comes and pretends the Goloka or Vrindavan Dham, then Lord kills the demons. But after the demon is annihilated, what is the activity? It is for the pleasure of the devotees. Devotees feel happiness, they come closer to Krishna, and then they worship him or they pain him, or they feel compassion how he had to fight with these demons and things. So it's for the devotee's happiness. He's always doing something every day, either annihilate the demons or making some other fun time. He's always increasing the happiness of the devotees. That's what he does. Same way Lord Ramachandra was here on the Earth planet, and he also did many activities that were for the happiness of devotees and to annihilate miscreants also. So different incarnations. Another one thing over here is incarnations of Vishnu are never to be compared with Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. They are Vishnu Tattvas. Vishnu Tattva deities incarnations are all Vishnu Tattvas, and they should not be compared like the ordinary person or even great persons like Brahma or Shiva. They are not on the same level. And if anyone compares them, he is called the Pasandi or infidel. So we should not ever consider. Sometimes people say, "Oh, Vishnu is the brother of Indra." That's how they compare. But Vishnu is not the brother of Indra. Although he took birth as Brahman Dev, and in that sense, sometimes he looked like brother of Indra, but he is not in the level of Indra or Chandra or Lord Brahma or Lord Shiva. He is Vishnu Tattva, the eternal, these forms are eternal and they are all Vishnu Tattvas, free from all material contamination. While other forms, Vishnu and Shiva, are still are in the level of Rajas and Tamas. Tamasa mentioned herein is the material nature, and the spiritual nature has a completely separate existence from Tama. So Tama word comes in the original verses. So that Tama is is the material contamination, and which is a material nature, and it is, and the spiritual nature has a completely separate existence from Tama. The spiritual nature is untouched by Tamasa rasa. Avarodha means that which completely nullifies. So the form of the Lord, which are eternal, they nullify all the tamas and rajas. They are completely they have a power to nullify the power of tamasa and rajasa, and they are eternal. In the transcendence, there is no chance of material contact by any means. Where the Lord exists, it is beyond material existence. Also, there is no contact by any means to the material nature over there. It is completely spiritual. So this eternal form exists in Parabyom, in the spiritual sky, and then in that sky, no material thing. There is no material contact. We Once the devotee enters that region, he is not affected by material mode of passion and material mode of ignorance. So Brahma is the first living being, and therefore he mentions his birth from the lotus flower. The lotus was grown from the navel of Lord Vishnu, and in that Lord Vishnu generated uh, lotus which is the Garbhodakasai Vishnu, and there the Lord Brahma takes birth. He is the first living entity, uh, and he prays to the Lord over here. So text number 3. नाथ परम परमयद भगवत स्वरूप मानंद मात्र विकल्पम विद्वत वर्ष पश्यामि विश्वसिदमेकम विश्वमात्मन भूतेन्द्रियात्मक मदस्त उपासितोस्मि. O my Lord, I do not see a form superior to your present form of eternal bliss and knowledge. In your impersonal Brahman effulgence in the spiritual sky, there is no occasional change and no deterioration of internal potency. I surrender unto you because whereas I am proud of my material body and senses, Your lordship is the cause of the cosmic manifestation, and yet you are untouched by matter. So here again he prays, Brahma prays to Lord uh, by these various truth of the Supreme Lord. What he says is, your form is superior to your present form of eternal bliss and knowledge. The form that Brahma is seeing is, he says, he did not see any form superior to the form he is seeing. So, eternal form of the Lord Vishnu, there is nothing superior. It is the ultimate resting place. And it is full of bliss and full of knowledge and eternity. All Vishnu forms are full of bliss, full of knowledge, and full of eternity. As for the Brahman effulgence in the spiritual sky, there is no occasional change. The Brahman effulgence is the actual light of the Supreme Lord. This light emanates because of Lord Krishna's has a light in his body. So this Brahman effulgence, where many the people who believe in the form that God has no form, but God is a light. So this sort of form believer of the light go and exist in the Brahman effulgence. So in that Brahman effulgence there is no change, occasional change, and no deterioration of internal potency. I surrender unto you because whereas I am proud of my material body and senses, your lordship is the cause of cosmic manifestation. So this is how he prays that I want to surrender to your eternal form, but although I am surrendering, I am still proud of my material body and senses. Persons are always proud of their body and senses. I can do this, I can do that, this sort of thing we always think in our body, but in our mind. But actually, what does the Lord say? We cannot do anything. All the work are done by the interaction of three modes of material nature. But prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasa ahankara vimudhatma kartaham iti manyate. So every work is done by the interaction of three modes, but um, the ignorant living entity thinks that he is the doer. But actually, all works are happening automatically by the interaction of three modes of material nature. So here Brahma surrenders unto the Supreme Lord, and he says, I am proud of my body and my senses. We have feel many times, we are proud. Throughout the day, many times the sense of proudness comes in our body. But as long as that proudness remains prominent, it's hard to achieve the love of Godhead. Your Lordship is the cause of the cosmic manifestation. The Lord is the cause of the manifested cosmos, and yet you are untouched by matter. Although He is the cause of cosmic manifestation, but He is untouched by the material matter. Purport. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Bhakta Mam Avijanati Yavan Yaschasmi Tattva Tato Mam Tattvato Jnata Visate Tadanantaram. This is the full verse. The Supreme Personality of Godhead can only be partially known and only by the process of devotional service to the Lord. Except devotional service, the Lord cannot be known by any other means. Lord Brahma because became aware that the Supreme Lord Krishna has many eternal blissful forms of knowledge. He has described such expansions of the Supreme Lord Govinda in the Brahma Samhita 533 as follows. Advaitam Achyutam Anadi Anantarupam Adyam Purana Purusam Navayauvanam Cha Vedeshu Durlabham Adurlabhamatma Bhaktau Govindamadi Purusam Tamaham Bhajami. So Brahma is became aware that the Lord has many forms, and these forms are full of eternity, bliss, and knowledge. They are not in ignorance like human beings and other beings are. And he explains this in Brahma Samhita, like Advaitam, Achyutam, Anadi, Anantarupam. Anantarupa means many thousands of many various of incarnations. They are original, cause of all causes, stands in many, many forms. He is the oldest personality. He is ever youthful, unaffected by old age. And academic wisdom of the Vedas. What to talk about modern world, but even the academic wisdom of Vedas, one cannot approach the Lord, but only by surrendering to the Lord, one can approach the Supreme Lord. Devotional service is the only way. The only way to understand the Lord as He is by devotional service to the Lord, or by approaching the devotee of the Lord who always has the Lord in his heart. Two ways are mentioned. One is always surrendering and understanding the Lord, and the other one in devotional service, and the other is approaching a bona fide spiritual master or a pure devotee of the Lord. Because pure devotees have the Lord in his heart always, and then Lord can be achieved by such pure devotees. Compassion. When Prabhupada came in America, he bring nothing. He had couple of books in his hand. You know, he just brought one trunk of books. That's all he was bringing. But he has Lord in his heart, always 24 hours a day. That's why when he came, he was able to change thousands of people here, all academic, knowledgeable people. They all came and they all surrendered to the the spiritual master. You see so many Maharajas, Prabhus, Matajis, they all came and surrendered to Prabhupada and they all become disciples because Prabhupada carried the Supreme Lord in his heart. So this way, surrendering to that pure devotees, these other devotees also become a pure devotee. Nowadays, they are preaching in various places. They are gurus and sannyasis and temple in charge and many other various things they are doing. So Prabhupada carried the Lord in his heart. We see many prayers he has written in his transcendental diary, many prayers and everything. And then what he says, please Lord, make me dance. You have brought me here. You make me dance. And I will dance the way you make me dance. So this is how he prays. So surrender devotees, he never feels, oh, I'm in America now, I'm big man, I will do preaching work and I will become the guru. He didn't say like that. He humbly prayed, if you wish, you will make me dance. So this is how he prayed to the Lord. And then because of such a surrender and thinking of the Lord constantly and surrendering mood and translating his books, he was able to change the hearts of many thousands of people. They all came and surrendered to Krishna and they all became disciples and they all went to India. And now they have translated various books, all these nice pictures in the books. They are all created by devotees looking at the descriptions. Otherwise we don't have these beautiful pictures, beautiful deities and temples. These are all created by devotees endeavor. Although Lord does it, but devotees all came and surrendered. That's why these temples and deities and devotees have been possible by one pure devotee, one real pure devotee who surrendered to the Lord full pledge. He came and he made such a change in the world. So that's why devotee always carries the Lord in his heart. So if someone finds such a devotee and surrenders, then Lord is achieved. So we can clearly see how much devotion these devotees have. It's all because of Prabhupada's mercy. If Prabhupada hadn't come, then all these devotees would not come in Krishna consciousness. And next 10,000 years, it has to go the same way. It's expanding, ever expanding. Up to 10,000 years, this Sankirtan movement will continue and devotees will continue to come and surrender. And this way, temple will expand. We have nice project here to build a beautiful temple, lotus temple. And when this temple comes in play, then there will be much more devotees in this temple also. So this is possible by devotees' endeavor. Who always has the Lord in his heart. By devotional perfection, one can understand that the impersonal Brahmajyoti is only a partial representation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, and that the three Purusha expansions in the material creation are his primary portions. So, Brahmajyoti is a only partial representation. It is not full understanding of the Lord. The understanding of Bhagavan is the full understanding of the Supreme Lord. वदन्ति तत्तत्त्वविदस्तत्त्वम् यज्ञानमद्वयं ब्रह्मेति परमात्मेति भगवान इति शब्दते. The supreme truth is understandable by three different aspects: Brahma, Brahman, Paramatma, or Bhagavan. And Bhagavan understanding is the full understanding. Brahman expansion is partial, and Paramatma understanding is also partial. As for Bhagavan, understanding is the complete. Lord Krishna and that the three Purusha expansion in the material creation are his primary portion. In the spiritual sky of the Brahmajyoti, there is no change of various kalpas or millenniums, and there are no creative activities in the Vaikuntha world. So, Brahmajyoti has no change of various kalpas. Different kalpas, there are partial devastation and things take place, but in Brahmajyoti, there is no such thing that takes place. It's always eternal. And Vaikuntha planet, there is no creative activity. Vaikuntha planet is free from material creation. Is the spiritual sky. The influence of the time is conspicuous, conspicuous by its absence. The rays of the transcendental body of the Lord, the unlimited Brahmajyoti, are undeterred by the influence of material energy. In the material world also, the initial creator is the Lord himself. He brings about the creation of Brahma, who become the subsequent creator empowered by the Lord. Brahmajyoti are the rays of the transcendental body of the Lord. This is some light. Brahmajyoti is some light that emanates from the Lord's body. And transcendental body of the Lord and the unlimited Brahmajyoti are undeterred by the influence of material energy. But it is untouched by material energy. It is a spiritual energy. In the material world also, the initial creator is the Lord himself. Brahma is sometimes called creator, but he is only partial creator, but actual creator is the Lord himself. Without Lord's help, Brahma cannot create. If Lord has no hands on creation, then Brahma cannot create anything. But he is only a partial creator. He divides the universe. When Lord expands the universal lotus, he divides into 14 planets. And also from he prays before he expands the various rishis from his body. He prays to the Supreme Lord for many thousands of years, and eventually, when Lord becomes visible, then uh, then he gives uh, he gives birth to many various rishis uh, from his body. So that's why Brahma is not the final creator; it is the Lord Himself. But it is he is empowered by the Lord's mercy, and this is how he becomes a creator himself. Comment. Material uh, creative energy has no touch on the spiritual energy. That's what it is trying to explain. So that we just discussed. Whatever happens in spiritual atmosphere is untouched by material thing that goes on to the creation. It's separate. That's why it explains how in Goloka Dham there are 24 hours singing and dancing, always glorifying the Lord, but they are always singing and dancing because there is no creation that takes place there. There is no change. There is no uh, creation and annihilation. Everything is eternal over there. As for here, there is constant change. Every day is a different thing. We experience every day something different. So this material nature is constantly changing and changing. As for spiritual world, there is no such thing. It's always eternal, always same. But there are different rases, various mellows to increase the love of Godhead. As for material world, there is a constant change, always changing something. Oh, okay. समझ हाँ नहीं मानना चाहिए हाँ 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 हाँ, अलग रहता है दूर हो जाता है हाँ, नहीं आ सकेगा ब्रह्मा भी जीव है ब्रह्मा स्पिरिचुअल पोटेंसी नहीं है इसीलिए उनका जन्म होता है उनकी भगवान की नाभि से वो स्पिरिचुअल विष्णु तत्व नहीं है जीव तत्व के अंदर है हाँ हाँ पद भी हाँ वो तो प्योर डिवोटीज है हाँ हाँ नहीं 100 बार 100 बार वर्णाश्रम धर्म ठीक से पालन करने से ब्रह्म होता है हाँ ब्रह्मा जी भी गर्व करते हैं कि ये मेरा शरीर है यही मेरे इंद्रिय हैं, उनमें भी ऐसा गर्व रहता है। इसीलिए उन उन वो स्पिरिचुअल पोटेंसी, स्पिरिचुअल शक्ति नहीं। जैसे हम बोलते हैं ये मेरा शरीर है, मेरे अंग हैं, ये हमारे अंदर एक अहम भावना रहती है। इसी तरह ब्रह्मा जी का भी एक भावना है, और जीव तत्व में आते हैं। हाँ हाँ हाँ, सही बात है, सही बात है। हाँ, सही। हाँ हाँ, आ गया आ गया। हाँ, सही बात है, सही बात। हाँ हाँ, मैं ब्रह्मा होकर के इतना। हाँ हाँ, सही बात, सही बात। हाँ ऐसा किया, ऐसा किया, यहाँ पर आना पड़ा है। हाँ, शुरू में जीव वही होता है, जितने जीव हैं सब पहले वही थे। फिर कुछ न कुछ समय ऐसा बोलते हैं कि भगवान से ईर्ष्या हो गया एक समय, किसी कारण बस। तो इसके कारण जीव यहाँ आया है, ऐसा बताते हैं। We're discussing Brahma sometime becoming proud, thinking I have my body, I have my senses. So that's why he is in the jiva category. He's not in the spiritual category. He is in the material category. Many times he thinks, I'm Brahma. I know everything. So this sort of thing exists in Brahma. That's why he is in the jiva tattva category. हाँ हाँ हाँ, हाँ, सही, सही बात। हाँ, धन्य हो गया, सही बात। नहीं करते। हम्म, हम्म, नहीं होता है। हम्म, और सेवा करो। हम्म, अब क्या, नहीं, प्रार्थना किया है। उनकी प्रार्थना तो अच्छे होते हैं। हम्म, हम्म, रमन टीचर। हम्म, सबका प्रार्थना ही है, प्रार्थना। भागवत तो प्रार्थना से ही भरा हुआ है। नहीं है, नहीं। प्रार्थना ही तो है। केवल हरे कृष्ण बोलने से उसमें प्रार्थना हो जाता है, क्योंकि भगवान तो अंतर है, हम सब कुछ जानते हैं। बोलना भी नहीं पड़ता है, मंत्र जान बोल देने से उसी में आ जाते हैं। हरे कृष्ण। हम्म, श्रीमद् भागवतम की, शिल प्रभुपाद की जय।